Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Chris, and welcome to Linux Tech Geek. In today's episode, we are going to be checking out a project called KDE Neon. Now, KDE Neon, I think it's been around for quite a while. I've never personally checked it out. I do know it's based on Debian, and I believe they just got a new ISO out, so that's what today's video is going to be about. Let's go ahead and flip over to the desktop here, and we'll go over the website, and then we'll fire this thing up in a virtual machine. So here we are, we're on the KDE Neon webpage here, and they have a pretty nice little website going. So they have 3 or 4 different editions. They have a developer edition, they have a testing edition, they have the user edition, which is their stable release, and then they have another edition as well. What I did is I went ahead and picked up the user edition, and they go over some of their stuff right here on the website. Like I said, it is a pretty nice website. Now it's all about KDE with KDE Neon. That's their big thing, right? So we can go ahead and go to download now, and you can see on their website they have the 3 different editions on the right hand side. They got the testing, unstable, and developer. And then on the left-hand side here, they have the user edition. So I went ahead and already downloaded the ISO. What I'm going to do now is hop in a virtual machine, and we'll get this thing fired up. Okay, we got the VM fired up here. I did give it 8 gigs of RAM and 4 cores of my processor. So we can go ahead, and I did give this an actual virtual hard drive. So let's go ahead and install this. We can see the little KDE Neon splash screen booting up. Let's try to full screen it here. There we go. Let's go ahead and install system. Looks like this is the Calamares installer. Very nice. New York time zone, that's fine. English. I'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and erase the disk, and I'll use the full thing here. What is your name? Chris's login name, and I'll call this I'll call it Neon Bert. Complicated password here. Okay, this should not take this long on my machine here. Just got to unpack from ISO. Alright, it looks like KDE Neon has installed, so we can go ahead and do the restart. Make sure we click this button right here and then hit done, and it should reboot for us. Remove the medium, restart. Okay, we got the splash screen again, and now we are presented with our login menu or login screen. Enter in the password here. Now, we'll try and get this full screen. Let's see if we can do full screen here. Screen resolution, maybe? Display configuration. This might be it. So let's try to do... I'm going to try to do 1920 by 1280. Or about 1080, rather. Okay, there we go. This is almost 1080p. Still got my bar at the top, but that's alright. Alright, so welcome to KDE Plasma, blah blah blah. Okay. We don't really care because we know all about KDE Plasma. let's figure out which KDE version they're actually using here. So if we go to system settings, is there an about, maybe? About the system. Okay, here we go. So it looks like they are using KDE version 5.27.6, which should be one of the newest versions of KDE. So that's good. Got an updated version of KDE. Let's go ahead and try and update the system here. So sudo apt sudo apt update maybe. And it looks like we are getting package errors from the key ring here. So I don't know enough about Debian based distros to fix that. Maybe okay, so it says on KDE Neon you should use packcon. Okay, so sudo packcon update maybe. Yeah, I don't know what this is going on about. I guess it's up to date. It kind of said it was up to date. Let's see if we can install like Kitty or something. There's Kitty. Okay. All right. So it looks like the package manager works. It's just it was given some sort of error or something. Probably something to do with the key ring, I would imagine. But let's go ahead and look around on this distro a little bit more. Let's look up wallpapers, see if they have any nice little wallpapers going. Kind of like that. That's all right. Alright, so your pretty standard wallpaper. Nothing too fancy there. Let's look and see what kernel that we're using here. So you name -R. Alright, so we are using the 5.19 kernel. That is an old kernel. The 5.19 kernel, wow. Do they have any kind of way to... Let's see if we can update the system here using one of the GUI tools. Let's figure out what they have installed by default here. They don't have much installed by default, do they? No, they don't. They really don't have a lot installed by default. Huh. All right, let's look. They have, so for development, they have GwenView, which is an image viewer. They got Ocular for like PDF documents. For internet, of course, they got Firefox. That's a big one. For multimedia, BLC player. That's a good choice. They got system settings. They do have KDE Partition Manager. I wonder if that's actually G-parted. No, this is their own partition manager. Huh, I've never seen this. Yeah, KDE Partition Manager. I have never seen this application. Most of the time, it's G-parted, but it looks set up like G-parted almost. And yeah, that's a pretty nice application, to be honest. I do like that. See what else they have, because I thought I seen something else. So they have K-Write, Arc, Spectacle. That's kind of it. That's kind of it. Yeah, so it only filled up 6 gigs of the 20 gigs I gave it. Now, I did a automatic partition scheme, and so what it did, I think, is it took 9 gigs and it gave it to swap. So that's the reason it's saying 11 gigs right there. Originally, that partition was 20 gigs. Okay. Can we install Nala? Unable to locate package. Oh, Vim's installed by default. Okay. Yeah, the packages installed by default here are pretty old. They are pretty old. I want to see KDE Neon. I want to see if they have anything. See, they're talking about the latest and greatest. I don't think this is the latest versions of anything. Yeah, I think. So what I think is, I think the user edition here, what I think that is, I think that's the more stable edition, and then the testing edition or the unstable edition is your more bleeding edge of software. Because they don't really have a lot installed. Now they do have a newer version of KDE installed, but the packages themselves are not that new. Maybe it's the repos. I think it's just the repositories. Let's look at Dolphin here. Yeah. What I can say though is the actual distro itself it's pretty snappy. It is snappy. Let's see how much RAM we're using. Well, we're using about 800 megs in memory. Which isn't too bad for KDE, I don't think. Because KDE normally is kind of a memory hog. So that's not too awfully bad. Let's look at they just don't have a lot installed that we can really look at. Let's look at the info center here. Yeah, the QT version is 5.15. They're on 6. No. I take that back. The kernel is on 6 point something. The QT version is, it's going to be on 6 real soon here. So I don't know. Oh, that's a pretty nice tool. I do like this. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why the new the kernel isn't installed, the newest one. I don't get that. So this is pretty much KDE Neon. It looks like it's just a stable release of KDE that's based on Debian. Now, what I don't know is I don't know which version of Debian that it's based on. That would be something that you would have to probably read in the documentation. But what I can say so far about it is that it's pretty snappy. It's going to be extremely stable. Like I was saying, and just some of the other packages might be out of date a little bit. But I want to thank you guys for watching. If you find any value in the content that I do, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. It does help out the channel. And until next time, I want you guys to take care, be safe, and peace. Bye, guys.